Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is the Teacher's Life coming to you, talking to you about what you can expect to make on eBay / Amazon / any other form of selling you want to do. I have been asked recently by several people, how much can you really expect to make on eBay? And it kind of goes with Amazon. It kind of goes with Poshmark. Pretty much any online device you're going to try and sell on, the local scene, whatever. The simple answer is it all depends. How much effort are you going to put into it? Here's kind of what I've seen, because I've done where I being a teacher, during the summer I tend to sell a lot more stuff because I'm listing a lot more. Basically, if I'm listing consistently, whether it be $100 a month, $1,000 a month, several $1,000s a month, if I'm consistently listing at the same level, then let's say, just because the math is easy, I'm going to list $1,000 this month. I'm going to list $1,000 next month. I'm going to list $1,000 the next month. Then what I can expect is pretty close to that amount of sales every month. It takes some time to build up to it. Like if I go, let's say February I do $200, I list $200 worth of stuff. Then in March I list $1,000. Then in April I list $1,000. I'm not going to get up to that $1,000 level or close to that $1,000 level in March. Just because I started listing. It's going to be April, maybe even May, depending on what you got. And it also depends on what kind of merchandise you're getting. If you're getting good merchandise, I would expect if I say, okay, I'm going to do $1,000, I'm going to go from $200 to $1,000 in putting things up, then I'm going to look at by April. If I start in March listing $1,000, in April I should list close to $1,000. Now, does that mean that's my profit? No, that's listing. I figure a little low when I'm figuring. I look at, okay, this is how much money I need this month. So I'm looking to list about 3 times that. And usually my profit's more than a third. But if I figure a third, then I'm safe. Here's the thing. The more you list, the higher your percentage is going to be. And part of that is the more you list, the more you sell. But if my goal is to do, let's say I want $10,000 in sales. I want to make about $3,000 a month profit. After everything, then I need to do at least $9,000, probably $10,000 worth of listing that month. Then I'll break it down. All right, so if I'm gonna do $1,000 or $10,000 a month, then I need to do about $2,500 a week. That way I can kind of see where I'm at. In the summertime, if you can find the inventory, that's not a problem. Honestly, that's not a problem whatsoever. If you're working your butt off and your goal is to get that, it's not, you can find the inventory. I can here anyway. I mean, every place is a little different, but here in southern Oklahoma, I can find $10,000 worth of stuff to sell. The problem is that it's hard to get built up to that. If you're starting out as an eBay seller and you are on a limited budget, let's say you got $300 to spend, then what I would recommend, if you're wanting to make it a full-time income, you put everything back into it. You buy $300 worth of stuff, you list it. Then every week, whatever you got left over, you go and buy that. If you got $100 in the bank, you go buy $100 worth of stuff, you relist it, and you keep building up until you can do that. If you say, okay, I need $3,000 a month to pay the bills, then you say, okay, I'm going to do 3 times that amount in listing. So I'm going to do $9,000 in listing. You got to be careful though, because it's easy to say, well, I listed this for $500 and that didn't sell. Yeah, because it's only a $300 piece. I'm talking about legit, this is what I'm going to sell it for. Prices. And then you can always come down a little bit. That's why I figure a little low. But if you can figure a third and you come out to be, you're making about half profit, then you're okay. You're pretty happy. If you figure half and you're only a third, then you're like, what's this guy? He's crazy. He don't know what he's talking about. The thing is with eBay, things don't sell right away. And most of the items I put on are on buy it now. Very few items do I put on auction anymore. If it's that rare thing that I see that it sells, but there's none listed, I might put it on auction. If it's one of those things that those prices are all over the place, one time you get $300 for it, next time you get $100, next time you get $1,000, and they're all identical, put it on auction. Let's see what happens. I like to roll the dice, though. If I don't feel like rolling the dice, I might put it on for $800 or even $1,000 and take a best offer. But it's a slow build. Unless you got unlimited resources, it's a slow build. You're not going to go out and with $500 make $3,000 in your first month. It's not going to happen. It's a slow build. If you got 500, you put 500 into it. You go buy things. There's a lot of places you can buy. If you're just starting out, you want to learn eBay. My recommendation: go to the flea market. Go check out the yard sales. Go to the yard sales, and don't be afraid to pull out your phone and look at things. There's a lot of times that I'm a veteran. I've done this for a while, but there's a lot of times that I know there's no way I can know everything. It's impossible. You see things that you're like, I didn't even know that existed. You're gonna find some things like that, and I'm not an expert on everything. So I break out the phone. If I don't feel like doing it right there, go to the truck, I break out the phone, and I'll come back and say, you know what? Thought about it. I can't live without that. I'll buy it for that price. I've done that with a few things where I didn't realize how much it was, and I click on it on eBay, and gosh, that thing, he wants $20 for that, and I was thinking 10. He wouldn't go down, but I get back to the car, and that thing's selling for $300. And break out the wallet, I'll give you $20 for that. And so you gotta I don't expect me to know everything. I don't expect you to know everything. Don't be afraid to look at your phone. Then if you find something, I remember one time there was a fish finder that I wasn't aware of the brand. I didn't know the brand. It was an older one, and I don't remember what the brand was now, but I hadn't heard of it. So I'll go back to the car, and I'm like, you know what? I've done well with fish finders in the past. Let me look that up. Look it up. The guy wanted, I think, $10 for it, and he told me that it worked. And I didn't have a way of testing it, but he promised me that it worked. And I went and I bought it because I went back to the car thinking, you know what, I'm going to pass on it. Well, let me look at my phone and see what's on eBay. I look at it. Hey, I can get that and make 10, 15 times more money. Guess what? I went back and said, yeah, you know what? I thought about it. I think I want that. So anytime you can get that, that's a big good thing. Think about it and make up your mind, and then don't be afraid to go back and say, you know what, I'll buy it now. And I have done that. It's if you're starting out in eBay, then realize it's not an overnight success. The overnight success it's one of those where, 3 years later I'm an overnight success. Doesn't necessarily take you 3 years, but you're not going to go from I got $500 in my pocket to I'm making $3,000 every month. You're going to have to build that 500 into 1,000, that 1,000 into 2,000, that 2,000 into 3,000, and so on and so forth. Then you're going to want to build a little cushion, because there are times when you are buying and sales aren't happening, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's not you've hit a slowdown. eBay is fickle, fickle, fickle. I've had times when I'm listing a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff on eBay. I'm making consistent listings every day, and I'll have like a week where, and it seems like it's always the week when I really need the money because there's a big buy I'm going to have coming up, and that's the week when sales stop. And so, that's the way it works sometimes. And you get upset, but what are you going to do? This. And then you go on with your life and you go make some sales. There's other times when you're not doing the listing you need to be doing, and you've got stuff that you're thinking, you know what, I'm thinking about just marking it down, getting rid of it, and then all of a sudden it sells. And no rhyme or reason for it. But just be patient with eBay. As if you've got, I don't care if you got $100 to spend, $300, $500, $1,000, whatever it is. If you're wanting to make it a full-time income, then more power to you. I did this for a while, having a store and doing this full-time. I made some money at it. I made some mistakes. I did some good things. It can be done, but I'll tell you, it's lonely, and it is very boring when you're by yourself listing, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but you can do it and you can make some money. But if you're trying to go full time, just be aware there's some pitfalls. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to, for me to get to where I want, I have to consistently list, and that's hard to do when you're working full time. And it wasn't so hard when I was doing part time. When I was working eBay full time, but it was sometimes hard to stay motivated and not say, oh, you know what, I need to take a day off. I'm just going to take today off and be good. Well, I get too many of those, you get yourself in trouble. So you got to consistently list, and you got to build up. Don't be afraid to take some risk, make that $500 into $1,000, that $1,000 into $2,000, and just build up until you're ready to start saying, okay, now I need to make some money off this, so I need to start taking some money back. And you can do that especially once you get built up. I would advise against just quitting your job and going into eBay. That's a hard thing to do. I would recommend, like if you're a teacher, for me, what I would do is I would work hard over the summer, get up to see how you're doing, and if you're making a little money, enough that you can survive, then maybe say, you know what, I'm going to keep going on this. It is easier if you can build up to it part-time, to a position where you're all, maybe not quite there, but you're close to there, and you realize, you know what, if it wasn't for that 40 hours a week I'm working over there, I could probably make it. So then do it. But you got to build up your store. You can't do it with, there's a few people that do it with 100 items on there, but those 100 items got to be blowing through, and you got to be very, very careful with making sure that you are getting things that are selling through fast. And I always seem to find something that I think is going to sell through fast, and it doesn't for whatever reason. And then I got other things I'm like, I don't know why I bought this. I'm never going to sell that. And then it sells. So do it for a while before you decide to go full time would be my recommendation. Make sure you enjoy it. You got to enjoy it. I'll tell you, when I'm doing this a lot, the most tedious thing is listing on eBay. I get sick of it. I get bored with it, because it's time consuming, and it is just, there's a lot of things that are way more fun to do than that. I hate doing dishes. I think I'd rather do dishes than list for 8 hours straight. So just make sure you like doing it, and but build up to it. Start where you're at. I don't care where you're at. Start there and work your way up and get to where you need to be. All right? Give me a thumbs up. Like it if you like my content. Dislike it if you don't like it. Subscribe if you have any interest in seeing anything else that I'm producing. Hope we all have a great day. Good luck with your sales. And let's go make a few extra bucks. It's time for me to do some of that. You guys have a great night.